What's good, y'all? It's me, Panda. And how's it going, everybody? Today, this is the first anime podcast. It's going to be called the Panda Den. Today, I have Lee here. Say hello, Lee.
What up, man? Power of youth spiraling inside of us.
Today, we're going to be talking about anime, manga, and a bit of Twitter.
Yep. I'm glad to be here.
You too.
Well, yeah.
It's been 2 years since I talked to you.
Yeah. I mean, besides yesterday, which failed horribly.
Yeah, my sister kept on bothering me, saying, come on, come on, get out of the room." And she said, "Oh no!" My sister literally got mad at you because she thought she thought you were gonna say something bad.
Nah, I don't like to do that. I mean, I hope not. you know, I was just teasing basically.
Yeah,
I was like, "Why are you angry?" or something like that. I forgot what I said. It was too funny.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. It's been you know, I have such fond memories of this group with y'all, like you, Delix, Kohyuga, Noah,
T-Bride,
T-Bry, yeah, T-Bry, true. Masked Man, well, to an extent.
Noah XO.
Yeah, Noah, exactly. Noah, uh, too many fun memories. I remember when, in 2020, when I was very, very active in the group chat and stuff. This was when I first got around Discord, and Noah sent me the link of a Black Clover circle, because he's like a full on Black Clover fan, and we used to do debates on a Black Clover server.
Yeah,
And it was really funny, man. Like he used to always, you know, uh, I didn't know much about Black Clover, so I was like, whatever. I just used to talk about Naruto
I
or whatever at the time. But yeah.
Why Deals just got you into Black Clover because he just kind of want to say it's similar to Naruto.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but Naruto just. I mean, I've watched shows that I would even argue are better quality than Naruto, but
Yeah,
nothing can capture Naruto for me like what it did. The villains, the characters, the writing, the themes. It's just Naruto's my all-time favorite show, and that will never change.
that's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, at least I'm a fan enough to realize, hey, there are better shows out there, but I just like Attack on Titan is like a tier ahead of Naruto in my opinion, but
Yeah,
I can never like say I always think Naruto's character writing to this day is one of the best I've seen in all of anime. And I've watched over 100 anime or so, so
I was about 80 anime so far.
you
I basically just watched 80 anime so far.
yeah
Something that's not mainstream, mainly underrated.
yeah I've well as you know I've delved into a different genre. I used to be more action, but now the past 2 years I've been watching romance slash drama anime. So I've delved into a whole new realm, but Naruto always stuck with me as a show that has a lot of sentimentals and sentimental value. A show that, despite everything, you feel the courage to watch and just be inspired by. And
I can understand that feeling. It can be applied to any anime.
yeah, sort of, but I think Naruto has. I feel I can resonate a bit more with Naruto as a character because, not to go into any not to go into any details or so, but I can relate a bit to his backstory. So, um, there's that like relatability factor, and just seeing how he rose up and how he understands the villains, and it's just the whole show. For me, the best part about Naruto is the villains and the side characters. That's the best part about Naruto for me.
Yeah, but I kind of wish some of the side characters could have done more Spuden.
Oh, you mean Shituden? No, I'm just messing.
You know, Shippuden.
Naruto Shippuden. No, I'm just kidding. But
Shippuden.
uh, I mean, honestly, no. Actually, it is Shippuden because like it's just the whole like it's basically a whole Naruto and Sasuke. No, I'm joking, but it's Naruto and Sasuke show pretty much. Which I'm not complaining. Naruto and Sasuke are some of the best, some of one of the best rivalries right out there. It's so iconic
Yeah.
and honestly, it's very well written. But it's just it's not their fault. It's just Kishimoto just is such a good damn writer at writing characters that even
He's
his
a good
side
writer.
characters are just like better. Really, it's not their fault. It's just they're in their own universe. I don't know. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so we talked about like the villains right yesterday or something. We talked about like the villains and stuff.
You talk about villains of Naruto
Yeah.
and like comparing part one to Shippuden.
Yeah. So your favorite villain was who again?
Hidan.
Yep. And mine was Zabuza and Haku. I mean, I wish that
Yeah.
part didn't get corrupted yesterday because the, your reaction was so hype when I said Zabuza and Haku.
It just kind of like sucks that my sister tried to goes into my business, and I tell her, "No, get out of the way. I'm talking to my friend. We're making a podcast. You're not allowed."
Exactly. I mean, oh man, Zabuza and Haku. Where do I start? Again, we talked about the similarities between Zabuza and Kakashi, and how they both have
They both
similar
are kind of
outfit.
like parallels
Yeah, they're
and foils
parallels
to each
exactly,
other.
and they both had to kill people along the way that they cared about. They both have similar outfits. They both have. They're both badasses in a sense. They're both very broken on the inside. Um, they both lost a part of their humanity, but still keep on going for different reasons,
Yep.
and that's what makes their fight very interesting. And Haku is the direct parallel, in a sense, because Haku was the only motivating factor for Zabuza to keep on fighting, um, and Haku was the person who triggered back Kakashi's memories of Rin, which wasn't explained in the anime, but that's my interpretation of it. Because towards the end, Kakashi, you can tell he was obviously dominating Zabuza by that point, but you can tell that
Yeah, but when Haku sacrificed himself, he kind of got that PTSD flashbacks. Like,
yeah,
oh shit.
you can tell like Kakashi was wearing down because well obviously he I feel like he related to Zabuza and he obviously he put him out of his misery in a sense, but you can
Yeah.
tell like he was telling Naruto shut up Naruto, like, and he put down his headband, and when he took Zabuza to Haku, I think he kind of wished it was him, that was Zabuza, not the opposite, because I think I don't think Kakashi comes off as someone suicidal per se, but he does come off as someone who really had no will to live in a sense.
He kind of has like the skill that he could have done much better if he made one choice. It's kind of like son. It's kind of like basically life. Like you could have prevented son, but you didn't. But that guilt is still a part of you, and you kind of experience that dread of being a ninja.
Yeah, and you just live with it, man. You just live with that regret for the rest of your life. There's not a whole
It
lot you
kind
can
of
do about it. You have to live with that regret for the rest of your life, unfortunately, and it is tragic, but it is just how life is, and that's a very good portrayal from Kishimoto of like tragedy and loss and just how cold the world can be in general that we live in. So it's a very good portrayal of that,
yeah.
and the similarities between both characters and the parallels. Um, Basically, Haku being a reminder of Rin, but being literally Zabuza's Rin, was a good contrast that I picked up on later on. And by the way, I came up with this on the fly. I did not script this. I just thought of this on the fly, um, which hence why Bakura summoned. But anyways, yeah, it was yeah it was one of those things, and obviously we talked about Hedon. Hedon was a phenomenal character. Uh, he served
Basically
his
like pure evil.
yeah he served his purpose, but he also had a ritual to him, and he had more of a reasoning and depth to him than most characters who are psychotic. So, and he was very fun. So, and his dynamic with Zab was sorry what's his name again? Oh God, I forgot. With the thief dude. What's his name? No, not the thief dude. What's his name? Kakazu? Yeah, Kakazu. Yeah, sorry, not the thief dude, the money dude. Yeah, Kakazu.
Yeah.
uh, their dynamic was so fun, and Shikamaru obviously and Asuma. Their whole story made the arc just a lot better. One of the most underrated arcs in Naruto. But my favorite arc to
Yeah.
this day in Naruto is Zabuza and Haku's arc, which is the
Yeah.
second arc of the show. So, um,
Nacho Vegas just gonna say it's not the best art, but I think I think it's kind of like the best introduction arc and generally a simple story about revenge and the
mhm.
cycle of hatred.
Yep, and also how underrated like people always talk about Haku, but I think Zabuza was the main show of the arc, and he uh he also went through a tragic backstory, obviously killing 100 of his teammates. I don't know what happened to his parents. That they never explained that, but yeah, being under someone who forced you to kill your people, and trying to like it's obvious that it affected him because his whole goal was to take revenge or kill the Mizukage to kind of like make a better future or something like that, right? So it's obvious that he wanted to do a change, whether it's for the better or the worse, we don't know, but that's kind of what it implied by that. So Zabuza definitely was affected by it, and Haku was his kind of his push on to move forward in a sense, which we mentioned earlier, if you know what I mean. You there, Panda? Panda. Huh. Oh wait, he's muted. Okay, I don't know. Are you good, bro?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was worried for that. I was like, why did he just disappear like that? Yeah. So, do you want to talk about like the other villains, or what else do you want to? I mean, you're the
Like
one.
so,
I mean, you're the one hosting, so I don't know. It depends on your choice. Do you want us to talk about other things or what?
I mean, we could talk about anime.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what anime do you want to talk about?
Like I just made up my anime list. I'm currently like watching other anime at the moment.
What anime are you watching?
I'm kind of like watching My Happy Marriage.
Oh yes. Oh, okay. Let's talk about that. Oh my,
Uh,
bro, that is the show of the season. I'm sorry. That is the show of the season. That is the show of the season.
like I just got into it and I said, bro, I was just like tearing up.
Well, I kind of teared up on episode 3 or 4, but I didn't like ugly cry. But man, the you know the first 4 episodes, like when I watched them, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm satisfied. This is the show of the season. Episode 4 is when I knew this is the show of the season because so much character development, so much has happened in those 4 episodes. I'm like, man, wow, incredible writing, incredible everything, really. You know,
Yeah,
the the girl. I mean, it will take a while. It reaches there towards episode 6. She does develop. I think the characters really push the show and the setting. Oh my god, dude! Even the guy who loved her in the first episode and he couldn't do much about it.
Kyoka.
I forgot
I
his
think his
name.
name was
I
Kyoka.
I don't remember. I only know Kuro and Mio's name. I forgot the other characters, but and even the stepsister, she's not too bad of a character either. She's obviously, you know, maybe she can be a bit come
Just a,
off as a little
just a
annoying,
bitch.
but she's not a bad character. She's very well written
Yeah,
too. She
she's kind of like written like that.
yeah,
He's
she's
he's an
meant to be like
asshole,
that.
but there's a purpose to why she acts like that.
Yep. And it's also kind of a thing of its era sort of thing. So it establishes its era very well, and also it has more of a supernatural, more war theme into it as well, which will be explored later on. And there's a hierarchy, so it's not just a character going from being abused to being um, good type of show. It's also like there's a whole lot of to it. You know, there's a whole lot to it. Okay, what other shows are you watching?
Heavenly Delusion.
Okay, haven't watched that. Are you
Um,
watching AO No Orchestra?
no, I haven't heard that yet.
Oh, you have to watch it. It's actually I think one of the underrated shows of the season. It's like Your Lie in April but way better. It's a music anime, and actually unlike Your Lie in April, all the characters get development. So I would watch that if I were you. Um, what other shows are you watching?
Randy Kenshin.
Yo, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. What other shows are you watching?
Roni Kenshin.
Okay, you're watching the new edition. I mean,
Yeah,
I haven't watched it, but I'm not too keen on it. I'm just because it's gonna be similar to the 96 version. I'm just waiting for them to reach the final arc, so then I could start watching it, so I can know what happens in the final arc.
oh, yeah. I'm like a big manga fan. Like I read the manga and the '90 anime.
Just
Like the reboot starting point is okay and decent. I'm just want them to like get. I just want them to adapt the rest of the stories from the manga so badly.
yep, same. And well, I'm just waiting for the final arc because I hear my boy Sanusuke get some respect in the final arc, so that's what I'm waiting for. So
He does.
good. So he's not.
All
So
the
he's not a.
characters do.
So he's not a pushover anymore in the final arc.
He's not a pushover. He actually gets something to do, along with fully wrapping up his character arc.
Wow, finally, man. Like my boy Sanusuke was getting like so dirty. Like I remember Oshi beat him with one hit. Obviously, Saito. I mean, to be fair, Saito is top tier, right? Saito is like Kenshin's direct rival, so I'm not surprised. Saito is a beast, and he pretty much demolished our boy Sanusuke twice. So, and to be fair, the last fight he had in the anime with who was it again? The final
It
villain?
was with
No, not Anji, not Anji. That was a close fight. I'm talking about the he beat Saito with one hit. He beat Kenshin. He also beat Oshi. I forgot his name. Dang it. He had like his whole body was like wrapped up in bandages. Uh,
Italy Makoto.
Makoto, yeah, like Makoto beat him, right? But let's be honest. I
Like
mean, I mean,
Makoto was like a straight up badass in the Kyoto arc. Like he was assassinating a ton of people and about to start an entire war.
well, to be fair, Makoto is good, and I know he would beat Sanusuke. There's no doubt about that. But I do think
Yeah.
the reason he beat Sanusuke so easily is because Sanusuke was tired. I mean, Sanusuke's whole body was kind of his bones were crushed after the Angie fight. So, um, to be fair, I will let that slide because every other character got also butt fucked by him. Sorry to use that word, but every character kind of just got.
He was still like an imitating force. Like you know what he's gonna do next, and he's like so unpredictable that you kind of like fear for the main character's lives.
Makoto wasn't a bad villain. Actually, I do think he was interesting in his own right. I just don't like towards the climax of the arc. Kenshin should have not won that fight, and honestly, the way he went out doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The power scaling towards the end of the Kyoto arc was kind of a mess for me, but besides that, I actually don't mind the Kyoto arc. I think it's a 8 out of or a 7 out of 10 arc. I think I think a lot of people would agree with me that peak Kenshin is the OVA Trust and Betrayal. That's where like shit hits in the feels, man.
Yeah.
Man, look, when I tell you, okay, anyone who's afraid of spoilers hasn't watched Kenshin, please click off now because I'm gonna mention some spoilers. The final episode where his old wife Migame, no, not Migame. Man, I really need to rewatch. I forgot the name of her of his wife, but man, when she dies, oh
Oh
man,
man.
when he killed her, bro, I swear to God, that's one of the hardest times I cried to a show. Besides like Silent Voice, man, the feels, man. I cried like a bitch for like a good while, like a good while. It was such an amazing moment. What a moment. And
Yeah, just
um,
feeling the
you
feels.
I knew his backstory was dark. You know, I knew Kenshin's backstory was kind of meant to be sad, but I didn't know it would be that bad. And I kind of sympathized with this character a little more because it's really not his fault. It's just the era he was in, and
It's just like
to
he's
live.
just like a kid, just in in this complex war that he can't even get out of. He's like forced to kill and slaughter in order to create a peaceful era.
Yeah, and it's also like he lived with that much guilt and for his whole life, man. And I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know, like when people call you a monster your whole life, and it's just kind of hard to imagine, you know. And just thinking about it makes me want to cry. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel so bad for his character. Like, t- okay, I mean, obviously he wasn't called a monster as in oh you don't deserve to live or whatever, but he was called a monster as in like you know like
like
oh
he killed people.
you killed people and you have no right, you have no worth, you're terrible. Even after he's atoning, even after he's not killing people, even after he's become softer, he's still getting the same comments. So it's a legacy you do not want to have, and I just feel bad for the guy. I really do. It's just you know it's yeah. I mean, just talking about it makes me emotional, man. What a very well written character. Um, but yeah, there are some things he does in the OVA that's kind of questionable, and he can be out of character sometimes. But I do think overall his character is consistent. Like say like with Vegeta, you know Vegeta has a lot of on and offs with this character, but I do still think Vegeta overall character writing is incredible, especially towards the Buu arc.
I would say
Um,
like the end of the Boo arc when he's just like
hmm.
first understanding and monologuing about Kakura and started to acknowledge that he's his equal or friend.
And it's not just that, man. It's like the problem with Vegeta's arc is, you know, obviously killing all those people and stuff. It kind of recessed him back, you know. And I know it's necessary,
I don't.
but I do think like Vegeta's arc. Let's be honest, does have a lot of on and offs, but it it's also very well written for the most part. That I'm okay with the blunders. It's kind of the same with Kenshin. Kenshin's arc does have some blunders here and there. It's not too big. Some people have bigger issues with it, but I do think overall it's more consistent and it's actually very it touches on the heartstrings, you know, it really does.
Yeah, engaging. Like
But I do think, however, Kenshin's arc, despite being one of the best, I do think the most emotional backstory we got on the show is Anji or Aniji.
MG
Anji's
Sanosuke.
backstory is so Sanosuke. Yeah, Sanosuke made me. I think made me cry. I'm not sure, but his backstory was very emotional. But Anji, to this day, I will say it. Sanosuke's fight with Anji is the best fight in the show. But because of the way it carried, man, like Sanosuke's fight with Anji had a lot of weight. You know, um, they're both damaged people, but Sanosuke was able to find the people and was able to find the peace in his life. Anji's backstory, while it is sad, the biggest sadness for him, or what, is he wasn't able to forgive himself and move forward, right? Which is kind of which kind of paralleled with Sanosuke. But Sanosuke found people, and he's like, you know what? I can never forgive myself, but you know what I can do? I can make better of what it is now. And remember when I told you about yesterday when I told you about the doctor arc, or the girl doctor in their gang. What's her name again? Migame, I think. I think this is. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I forgot her name, but um, wait. Let me search up her name real quick. Sorry. Let me just search up her name. Kenshin characters. Because it's been like almost a year or 2 years since I've watched the show, so I need to remember. I need to remember her name. Um. Okay.
It's Megumi.
Megumi. Yeah, Megumi. Sorry, Megumi. So
Megumi.
Megumi. Am I saying that right?
Megumi.
Megumi. Okay.
Yeah.
So Megumi, her character arc, obviously, besides being incredible, is her arc was very good. It was like the first character we got who's kind of suicidal in the show, right?
Yeah.
And and there were hints about Sanosuke being similar to her, right? That's why I ship her with Sanosuke, because I do think they're kind of similar characters, right?
I don't think. I mean, shipping's fine, but they wouldn't like be together because Sanosuke outright rejects her. He acknowledges her as a friend, but
Wait,
not like
why are
that.
you spoiling the show for me?
I'm just saying.
I didn't read the
Just,
manga, dude. Why'd you spoil it for me?
I'm sorry, my bad.
Dang it, I always ship them, man. Dang it. So wait, my boy Sanosuke's gonna be a virgin?
I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you the ending of the manga.
Dang it, man. So he's gonna be a virgin. I thought my boy Sanosuke would get Megumi. I actually shipped them. They actually work together. But anyways, hey, I didn't know she asked him out. That's good though. Anyways, but my boy Sanosuke is dumb, dude. Why would you reject her? Anyway, that's besides the point. Sanosuke, he. There's this one moment, if you remember, where she was escaping. Uh, one of there was this gang after her, or her father, or something like that. I forgot the story.
Just Shinobi.
Yeah, and they were after her, and obviously Sanosuke basically beat, he struggled, but he beat one of the soldiers or whatever, and she was like, why are you sacrificing yourself for me? I want to die. I don't even want to live. Like, leave me alone. And he's like, no, you have to keep on fighting in life. There's no choice. And he slams her
Yeah,
and puts her to the
because
ground. That moment is like where that's one of the moments that actually leads to the Angie fight, because Angie, while not being suicidal, is very apathetic to life, right? Angie's like,
yeah,
he's
he's
just
just like
living.
direct to life. Like he isn't like a sociopath, but he can let go of his hatred of the past
Or no,
compared
actually,
to Sanosuke.
I don't think he had hatred. I think it's more like he had guilt. He had self hatred. I think more than he couldn't let go of what he did and how he let those people down in the temple, right? And he felt
Like
he
he
felt.
literally saw the children he cared about get killed by a bunch of politicians.
Yep, and he couldn't forgive himself. He couldn't let go, and that's what made him, the way he was. And Sanosuke proved his development by winning that fight. It didn't reach full circle just yet, right? I mean,
Right,
I think in the '96 version, at least, he developed at least 90%. 90% of his character was kind of done, right? But there's a
right.
bit left, especially power wise and experience wise, for him to kind of be less hot headed and actually develop as a fighter. I think that's one of the aspects where he still needs development in. But that fight kind of sort of brought his character full circle. It started. The healing process for him started from the Migame scene, which I talked about, to that scene. It's like a 60-50 episode journey. Um, seeing his development. Sanosuke is probably the best character in Kenshin, in my opinion. He's one of the most hype, and Saito also is a good character, in my opinion. His twist of him being an undercover policeman, etc., that was good. Um, Kaoru is okay. I mean, Kaoru is decent. She's a decent character. The characters in Kenshin are cool, I think, overall. Migime is also a very good character. She develops. She has her arc. The guy, sort of. I mean, he's okay. He's passable. The villains in Kenshin are also good. I mean, Angie is
There,
incredible. Angie's an incredible villain. I mean, he's probably the best villain.
Soichiro.
Sojiro, oh yeah, his backstory was so heartbreaking, and also you have, I mean, the other guy, the second guy was okay. I mean, the guy who's Sairobi, he was okay. He wasn't that bad. Makoto is okay too. So you have decent amount of writing in Kenshin and characters who actually really matter, and there's we can be here all day about Kenshin now. So yeah, we probably should move on
Yeah.
to another show. Is there any other anime you want to talk about?
Hmm.
I mean, we talked about Trigun right yesterday. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Trigon. Let's move on to another anime.
Well, I didn't watch Stampede, so I only watched the '98 version. So we're gonna have to go with that.
All right, 98.
Yeah. Well, we said the characters in Trigun are fantastic. One of the, in my opinion, one of the best character dynamics in any anime I have seen. The friendship between the characters was phenomenal. Like
Yeah,
you
they
generally
were like
felt
genuine.
you genuinely felt the loss. Like when Wolfwood died, you genuinely felt the loss. I
Well, like my boy Wolf would like die like a man. Instead of killing indiscriminately, he just accepted his fate and tried to plead for his sins. It was so powerful. I was crying manly tears.
Yep, and that's how we should live. We should take example of Wolfwood. And like sometimes we don't get what we want in life. Sometimes we made mistakes, but as long as we're breathing, as long as we're able to, we should try and be better people every day, no matter what the reason is, right? Even if it's
Yeah,
selfish, it doesn't matter. It's the action that matters, or the intent. The um even if his reason was served, whatever. I mean, he got his he got
redemption.
his redemption in a sense, or he tried to at least. So that's what matters. It's Wolfwood obviously being a foil to
Dash.
to Vash, and Wolfwood obviously he had to kill his father or his caretaker. That wasn't explained, but I'm assuming that's his father or caretaker. He was
I don't think so because like in the manga is different. The anime kind of like just changed it.
okay, but in the anime, we assumed he killed whoever his caretaker or father. He was abused. That's the assumption we got. He joined this
Yeah,
he joined this gang, and it didn't get any easier from there. So Wolfwood really did not have a good upbringing, and he had a hard life in general. Same with Vash. So, but unlike Vash, Wolfwood coped with what he went through a lot better, and
yeah. He kind of like killed a lot of people to get to this point.
yeah,
Like he didn't have no other choice.
yeah. Vash
It was either
Vash
live
didn't
or die.
really Vash didn't really have a goal per se, but
I mean, Vash kind of like had a goal.
Vash.
I
Okay, let
mean,
me explain this. So Vash didn't have a he had a long term goal, but he never had a end point. Wolfwood never had a long term goal, but he had a end point. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like
I
like like
mean,
like put it this way. Put it this way, right? Like like Naruto wants to be Hokage, right? So that's a one end point, right?
yeah.
But he doesn't know when he's gonna reach it, or like uh okay, no, that's not a good example. I'm trying to think of an example. So basically, like, to put it in words, Vash wanted to just save people. He didn't want people to suffer, die, etc. Right? That's his goal.
Yeah,
Um, which is like, okay, you're just gonna live till you reach death. Basically, that's like he's apathetic, right?
yeah,
Wolfwood
but
was not wanting to. He didn't want to die until he reached his last goal, right? So that's
yeah.
what I mean. It's like they both also fall in that way where Vash really has nothing else to live for, but he still carries on. While um, Wolfwood has this
I'm,
one end goal that he wants to keep living for. He wants to see come true, which he didn't at the end of the day. But um, that is
I
sort of
mean,
the difference
Vash does
between.
have a goal like all he has to do is kind of like just stop knives from killing
Oh yeah,
other
sorry. Yeah,
people.
but I mean, how do I? I'm not finding the words to explain it. Like he didn't have one end goal. If you know what I mean. He had that revenge goal. Yes. He wanted to kill knives. He wanted to
I don't think he
free
wanted to kill
himself from.
knives. I mean,
He wanted to free
in the
himself from his
anime,
guilt. He wanted to free himself from his guilt, and he wanted to keep on saving people, right? Till he was able to reach that goal. But really, in the end of the day, for Vash, if he died or not, that didn't matter to him. He really didn't care. He was apathetic to life. That's what I mean. Wolfwood, in the end, Wolfwood cared, but which is beautiful contrast is Wolfwood died by not caring about his life for that one
yeah.
single moment, and uh, Vash did what Wolfwood wanted to do his whole life with
I
Wolfwood's own
mean,
weapon, which is beautiful. It really concludes and interconnects both characters' arcs. It really is beautiful.
Baz kind of like thrown away his mother's ideals so he can follow his own. In a sense, like the ending is like him atoning for himself and finding new ideals after defeating his brother Knives.
Yeah, and it's also beautiful because Vash also really not only just let go of her ideals, he also he achieved what everyone else wanted him to achieve, and
He,
he kept ignoring people's ideals for the sake of his mother ish. She's not really his mother, but you know what I mean. It's like
his no
his
kill rule.
yeah. He
He kind of
yeah.
basically, when he like killed Legato, he basically accepted moral ambiguity and started to see that his ideals can't live in this chaotic and ruthless world.
Yep. He kind of had the Goku arc, the Goku moral arc, if you will.
Yeah, it's
Where
kind of like that. Like my friend Johnny kind of compared him to Bash to Goku in a sense.
yep,
Both don't want to kill, but they had to put their ideals aside to save other people.
yep. And to an extent, it's kind of similar to Gohan as well.
Yeah,
Yep. So it's also like um, actually I think he's more similar to Gohan really because they're both pacifist and they both lost a lot of people in their lives. Even Trunks per se, um, he learns to just let go and kill, and that's the only way to do it really. So
yeah,
it's kind of like a mix of Gohan and Trunks really. So he kind of let go of he let go and went into fight mode, went into killer mode like Gohan. And he also learned that you should do it now and not wait later, like Trunks. You should just do it now.
yep,
And how revenge is an excuse to not only, but it's also an excuse to grow. Which Trunks did learn to do. Um, he used his hatred. He learned that hatred alone and revenge is not going to take you anywhere. But also, it's also like to take it to understand people and let it help you as a person grow, which Trunks did. Um, so yeah, I mean, and that's why even though I don't like Trunks Super, I think Trunks Super was necessary, right? Because he went and saw how his sensei in the future timeline is different to the original timeline, right? Because, or sorry, in the future timeline, and compared to the original timeline, right? Because he noticed, oh wait, so my sensei is finally living in peace. Wow, so and it's great to see all my people, like the people that I care about, living in peace in the other world compared to the world I live in, right?
yeah. Because
And that was a
Trunks
powerful moment.
never got that peace. He had
Yep.
to like live to survive. Like with Gohan, mainly Cell Style Gohan, he kind of like fought back against his own fate and try to rewrite something that shouldn't. You know what I mean? He kind of
Yeah,
like conquered his own fate, like all the characters did.
I very much agree with you. I mean, and that's what makes Johan's development, or that scene, even though I don't like Super Trunks, his seeing his master with his kids and everything. It's like, and like the old Trunks would have been like, oh my god, that's not my sensei. That's not my sensei. I don't know him like that. But by seeing that, he sees, okay, sometimes it's also good to let revenge and stuff help you grow, and seeing the peace.
Yeah,
I think he just felt peace with himself. So that's kind of Vash in a sense as well. Vash had that Gohan and Trick Trunks development, and like where it's just like, I don't know if I'm doing the good parallel here, but that's, I feel like, what connects most with Vash.
yeah,
That's
that makes absolute sense.
that's where I see it. That's where I see both characters kind of correlating in their developments.
Yeah,
All right. What other shows have you watched we could talk about?
I I'm almost I'm almost done rewatching Buddy Daddies.
Buddy Daddies. Oh, is that show with that's an anime original, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I have not watched that, but I do want to watch it. Have you watched Spy X Family then?
I watched it.
Okay. Oh man, have you read the manga for Spy X Family?
I read about 53 chapters.
Okay. So, oh man, where do I start with Spy X Family?
Oh shit, this is
Man,
gonna be good.
man, where do I start with Spy X Family? One of the best slice of life, one of the best family, wholesome yet story related shows.
It's kind of like one of the most. It's kind of like a shonen slice of life where all the characters do things in their daily life while
It's it,
the
it's
characters, the
kind of
main
like
characters we follow, are spies.
it is the shonen version of Karikano. I don't know.
Bas-
Have you watched Karikano?
I haven't watched Karikana. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, but basically, you should read the synopsis. So basically, Karikano is a romance show, but it's a show about like these two characters who are opposites to each other. You know, she's from middle class, and he's like the guy's like from rich class, and they both have facades that they hide, but then they show to each other, and then they develop. Like
Yeah,
it's very like to your face development, right? But I love
yeah,
that show because guess what? There's character development. I don't care if it's obvious or not, right? And then towards the manga in Karikano, there's a big arc for the MC where he has to develop through past trauma. That's also what happens in Spy X Family. It's
I
perfect.
mean, I mean, with Lloyd, he kind of like has to hold and basically lie about his
Well, I
family
don't want to
until we.
spoil. I don't want to spoil the
I,
manga, but in chapter 62, Lloyd's backstory is revealed, and man, you ain't ready for it.
I know that. Sadly,
It's one of the worst backstories I think I've ever heard of or seen. I'm being honest here. I've seen a whole lot. I've seen Vash. I've seen a good amount of tragedies in my anime, and man, his his backstory is just
don't spoil it.
it is so bad. And it's one of those things where like it's a slice of life. It's to your face development. Everyone has their facade, and their facade is being exposed to each other, right? Like
Yeah,
your is
I mean, through these characters'
your
interactions, we get to know who they are
yep,
and what their quirks are, along with some fatal flaws they have and could improve on.
exactly. But then the manga, but like in the second half, we will get to see more of the serious development and more of the serious events. But Spike's Family is one of the best shows I've watched in recent memory. Honestly, it's a very good. I can't complain. Like one of the good new animes that we've seen recently, which there haven't been many of, but man, fantastic.
Yeah, because I kind of like took a break from watching shonen and just watch other anime.
Yeah, I mean, you watch romance, right?
Yeah, I kind of like watch about four romance so far.
We'll see. The reason I like romance more is because it does character development better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's why I prefer romance. It's not because like uh um there's no particular reason, but I just like seeing shows where like everything has been taken seriously, if you know what I mean.
I kind of like seeing characters develop slowly and
Exactly.
then allowing them to contribute to the plot. Even the side characters in some shoujo are able to contribute to the character's development,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like intimate interaction between protagonist and side character.
Yep. Have you watched Natsumi Book of Friends?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. Have you watched Solemn Voice?
Solid voice.
Yeah, Solemn Voice. You know the movie?
No, I haven't watched it.
Okay. Have you watched Martian Comes in Like a Lion?
No,
Okay. Have you watched Origaru? Or my
I wish I did. People been recommended it to me. I haven't watched it.
Oh man, bro, you're missing out. Oh my god, there's so many good
I've
shows.
just been reading other romance manga.
Okay, what other mangas or series have you been reading like romance? I'm interested now.
Like I've been reading Berserk,
Berserk is not
Kenshin,
Berserk.
Vagabond.
Berserk is not a romance. Berserk.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Berserk is more like a yeah, romanticizing suffering. I mean, yeah. If you like to suffer, then yes. Man. Yeah, if you like suffering, okay. Anyways, yeah,
Like most of these manga are basically in Japanese and they don't have an English translation.
oh, okay. And what else have you been reading? Like besides those?
I've been basically reading comic books and other manga.
Okay. Uh, okay. Have you watched Violet Evergarden?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, so Violet Evergarden. I'm gonna shock people here. I think it's a kind of overrated, but
It's overrated. I still enjoy the show, but
yeah,
it's overrated.
it
Like
is.
some
I
fans
agree.
will say, "Oh my gosh, this is a masterpiece. It's a
Yeah,
10
nah,
out
nah.
of 10.
It's
It's
a seven.
unbeatable."
It's a 7 or 8 out of 10. Like it's a 7, 8 out of 10 show. It's like
Yeah,
I personally think the show gets good around the last 3 episodes because I when they focused more on the war aspect of the show, that's when the show kind of got better. Like the war aspect and the world building a
yeah.
little more. That's when the show kind of the last 3 episodes are the best of the show. However, the episodic shows were good, but they were hit or miss. I mean, like
Like the main issue was that the anime like skipped a ton of the light novels and basically just cram all of it in instead of be instead of listening to or trying to figure out a way to adapt it. Like some plot lines are extremely rushed at the beginning of the first 5 episodes.
yep, and I think the episode with the redhead girl and her brother, that was great. The episode of his father
Yeah,
with his lost daughter, that was great. But like the episodic shows were hit or miss. So, and Violet, to be honest, as a main character, she her development is on and off for me. Like she develops and she doesn't, but towards the end she's more consistent. So the show is good,
yeah, but
but it's not like it's great, but it's not
the
like
show is good. But
masterpiece.
I just
It's not a masterpiece.
sorry, my bad.
Yeah, go ahead. No, no,
Like
go.
the show is really good, but I like ignore the movie, like the main movie.
I didn't watch the movie yet, actually, but I do know.
Don't watch the movie.
I do know the gist of it, sort of. I think I do know like what. Um, okay. Do you have any more comments on Violet Evergarden?
Right?
Okay. Do you?
I don't like how some of her side characters or co-workers like get sidelined and
Yep.
ignored because the anime kind of like treats her side characters, mainly Claudia and the other guys, terribly
Yep.
because I still love them in anime, but the anime just they could have like had a couple of more seasons to flesh them out and get them proper development instead of just being there in the background.
The only girls I can, I'm sorry, but the only things I could think of that developed were I mean, I guess the redhead guy. I guess. I mean, he's the leader, and her other friend,
Gilbert,
Gil.
Gilbert's brother.
No, yep, yep, and the other guy. No, there's a girl that like the Sundere. I mean, she gets like some one episode with her parents. I think that's about it. These are the only characters I could think of. The rest are like kind of whatever. And maybe
Yeah.
can extend the not no 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 that was Gilbert's friend. His brother hated her. He developed, yes, but I'm talking about the his friend who was in his place since he assumably went to war or whatever that reason was. Yeah. Okay. Did you watch Real Life?
I haven't watched Real Life.
You haven't. Okay.
I haven't.
Okay. Have you
Um,
watched Your Lie in April?
I haven't watched that. That's like on hold.
Okay. Have you watched Blue Spring Ride?
What is that?
It's wait it's let me see the Japanese name. Maybe you'll figure out more. Let me Oharu Ride. Oharu Ride.
Oharu?
Yeah, Haru Ride.
Oharu?
Ride.
Can you just spell out?
Okay, sure. It is kind of hard to pronounce, so I'll just type it for you. There you go.
Oharu right?
Yep. I don't think you watched it, but
I haven't watched it.
okay. Have you watched Orange?
No, not yet.
Okay. Man,
Most of those anime are on hold because I kind of have to go because I was like busy this week.
Oh, okay. How about how is work going, by the way?
Good. I just took, I just finished my 2 week break, and I'm fully charged. Like today I have work, and tomorrow, and on Monday I'm free.
Good, good. Okay. Actually, I had like 1 month and a half off, and I'm going back to work
Yeah.
the next week. So I've been working for like a year now, man. See, it's been that long since we haven't talked. I went from a high school
Yeah.
student to an employee. I hate working, man. But what can we do? That's life. We don't have a choice. Okay. Let's see. O'Hara Ride. Have you watched Erased?
I watched the race.
Okay, you watched. Okay, good. Okay, okay. Um, what can I say? Fantastic first half, trash second half.
Fantastic. For the second half was kind of like the weakest. Like as someone who kind of like just read the manga, the anime kind of like skipped over the characters' development and just rushed a bunch of plot points instead of just having the slow pace,
Uh,
just like the manga.
I think though the anime did a good job of adapting the manga, like for the first half, and I noticed it's not really the characters that fell apart. It's the story fell apart in the second half. Like, first of all, how the hell did he go back in time to save her second time? That was not explained.
It wasn't.
Why the hell is the teacher the culprit? That doesn't make any sense. And why the hell did he keep him alive for 13 years? Then he tried to kill him again. What the hell? Like,
No.
that ending was tragic. That final like 4 episodes. I'm sorry. I loved Erased, but that was horrendous. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I love Erased. Don't get me wrong. Erased is it's a very deep, touching, and talks on a lot of topics. I appreciate the show for that, but I cannot excuse the final 3 4 episodes. I
That
mean,
was like exactly my thoughts.
yeah, the 3 4 episodes. Okay, like the show does a great job. It develops obviously him. The pizza girl is best girl. Um, his mom is also best mom. His mom's cool. One of the coolest moms in all of anime. Um,
Hmm.
Even the girl develops in a sense, right? She gets happy,
Right.
etc. She's more of a plot device, so she's not really a character per se because like she's more of a like in anime usually like in a person who's been abused or something like that. They're not really meant to develop. They're meant to showcase a theme. So she's done well. The pizza girl is also good. So the characters are okay, but the teacher, the culprit,
Bunch of villains kind
no,
of like
pointless, very pointless. I mean, the teacher being the culprit
yeah.
is no. That was like one of the worst twists. That's like where the anime went to like, and how he kept surviving as a in the body of a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old. I'm like,
Oh, okay, that was kind of like weird. Like,
no.
so the main character was kind of like in love with his childhood friend while still being a grown man inside of a 10-year-old body.
No, well. I think, well, I mean, they rectified in the end by letting her go and be happy, right? So
Yeah,
it wasn't. It's more like self regret that he let a friend die, right? So I can let that pass. But the thing I don't get is like, not only did he travel back in time and it turned out to be the teacher who was supposed to protect them all along, then it turned out to be that like he is surviving. He is facing a 30-year-old man in the body of a 10-year-old. What? Like he
it was so.
that didn't make any
It was
sense.
like oh yeah,
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. I was like, I don't know, man. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
yeah.
Did you watch Orange?
No, I haven't watched Orange.
Okay. Have you watched Iraduku: The World in Colors?
No, you can just put that there, put it in the chat so I can watch it for
Okay.
later or save it on
Sure.
hold.
Sure. See, as you can tell, I'm a huge romance stan. Lol. Um, have you watched The Garden of Words?
I haven't touched that.
Okay, your name.
Didn't touch it.
Charlotte. Charlotte.
I need to rewatch Charlotte.
Okay, do you remember anything from it?
I just need to rewatch it because I watched it since I was 16 and I don't
Okay.
remember everything from it.
I watched it 3 years ago and no, man, no, not the greatest. Horimiya.
No, sadly.
Okay, have you watched Inu X Buku's Secret Service?
No.
Man, Bunny Girl Senpai.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, we can talk about that. Okay, what are your thoughts on the show first of all?
It's a good horror series.
Yeah, I will give you my full. You'll be shocked by my opinion, but anyways, we will first
Huh?
talk. You'll be shocked by my opinion, but we'll talk about yours first.
Alright. So I thought this series was good. Episode one, like the only thing that got me into the anime was my because she was like in that bunny costume. I said, mm-hmm. Like she was. I was kind of like
Bro,
drooling.
we're on YouTube.
Oh my god!
Keep it
Like,
PG-13, bro. We're on YouTube. Keep it PG-13.
come on! I can't get a piece of a waifu. Come on! It's like she was like in a bunny costume, showing all that off.
You're being a Delix right now, man. Just chill. You're being Delix right now. Chill. I'm just kidding, but yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Like the anime kind of like talks about existence, like how mine isn't noticed by everybody, and how she kind of lacks a social circle, and that the protagonist had to help her out along with dealing with depression and helping his sister out.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's kind of like
I still don't like what they did there. Like, um. Okay. Now, this is not like my thoughts on the show. This is just like my thought on a certain section of the show. Like, I didn't like how she left him deal with that alone in that final episode. Like, she could have
yeah.
at least helped him. I don't know. She didn't do enough as his girlfriend. I feel like. If you know what I mean. Like he did so much for her, and she didn't really do much in return either. If you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk about this on stream because probably gonna think probably we're sexist. So we'll talk about off stream. But yeah,
All right.
yeah, we don't want to bring this up, but um, yeah. As for my thoughts on the show, uh, I mean, it was a good it was a see. I struggle. I don't know because I think in the first half the show was very lacking in my opinion. You know, the stories weren't my cup of tea. Like people compare this to Origaru, and I disagree. I think Origaru is at least a tier ahead of the show, but and
Okay.
I think the biggest off about Bunny Girl Senpai is the supernatural element. Like it it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, you know. But there's sometimes where it does make a whole lot of sense. Like I'll give you standout episodes. Episode of a sister. That was like 2 or 3 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. That was amazing. I have a younger brother, man, so I can relate to that. It was amazing. I can relate to that feeling. Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing, right? Amazing. Like that was very, very well written. The episode between May and her sister, that was great, and we got insight into May and how she acts, and you know the business industry in general. So that was a nice touch up, right? You know the episode with May, we can let it slide, right? Like it was decent. It has a message. I didn't understand jack shit about the atmosphere thing. That didn't make any sense. But for what it was used, I will let it slide. You know, it was decent enough, right? Um, After that, like episode 4 to 8 was kind of meh for me. You know,
Yeah, I kind of
like
understand.
like it's a. I'm gonna be honest. It's like a 6 to a 7 out of 10 show for me. Like decent
To
beginning,
me, it's kind of like 8 out of 10.
decent beginning, very good ending, but middle point kind of a letdown. Like
It's
okay,
understandable.
the fake girlfriend thing was okay, then it wasn't. It was okay, then it wasn't. Then the professor girl or the laboratory girl's story was kind of like Futaba was kind of like okay okay. Then it was not okay, and then it's like So Buddy Girl Senpai aimed for something. It focused on the supernat like fishalness or the supernatural elements more than they should have, and I think that kind of put off the show a bit. But again, the show is pretty good, and yeah, that last story did make me cry, so I'll give it that. It was a very good watch. I can't complain. So yeah,
Yeah, me too.
it was a good watch. Okay, what else? Let's see. Did you watch my little monster? Did you watch my little monster?
Um, no, not yet.
Okay. Did you watch? Do you want to talk about Attack on Titan? Assuming you watched it.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh,
Let's just have straight opinions about AOT. Let's not piss off any other fans
no,
because
I just said that Attack on Titan is objectively better than Naruto. So, you know,
yeah.
my opinions are gonna be positive. I mean, season 4 is dog shit, but that's besides the point.
Don't do
I'm,
that.
okay, I'm sorry. Okay, okay. Sorry. Okay, season 4. Part 1 is
It
okay.
was
It's okay. Season 4 part 2. I'm not talking about the new 1 hour episode. I'm talking before that.
yeah.
The
Season
founding Titan and the Jaegerist. After that, it was not the same for me, personally.
I mean, like I understand rebelling. That makes sense. But my only issue is that some plot lines were like added in and were rushed immediately and never got
Well,
resolved. Like the whole Mikasa and he, the whole Mikasa and her entire family branch. You know,
Yep.
he's
Yep.
literal.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. That never got
Like,
explained. Yep.
yeah, he
Um.
just explained it and it never got resolved.
Okay.
Like
Yeah. Okay. Who's your favorite character before we go on? I'm curious actually. Who's your favorite character?
Levi,
Levi.
Jean,
Okay.
and Zeke.
Okay. You wanna know who my favorite one is? You're about to be shocked.
Who?
Historia.
Oh yeah.
Historia is my
Story.
favorite character, bro. She carries the show. She honestly does for me. Man,
Like I love Astoria. Despite her having one arm, she was an amazing character.
her
I,
but the best episode in the whole show is season 3, part 2, episode 5, Armin and Erwin's death episode. That's the best episode in the show. There's no doubt
yeah,
about it.
because I was like conflicted because there were so many moral debates about this because like who would live or who would die, Armin or Erwin.
Yep. No, I completely agree. I mean, see, I love, I love Attack on Titan. I really do. It's not like in my top 10, but I do love
Yeah,
Attack on Titan. The problem with, see, the biggest one with Attack on Titan is the characters, to be honest, for me.
I
Because,
think the characters are the same, but they kind of like develop
exactly.
over time.
Yeah, yeah,
Some
but
characters
like there are a
with
few
like
standouts,
uh,
but like for a huge cast, I don't know. I mean, they're not standout for me personally. I mean, again, I respect anyone who disagrees. That's okay.
yeah.
But like, I have seen better character writing in other series. Like the strongest thing of Attack on Titan is the story. I mean, which is great. I mean, you don't need any more than that, really. The story carries, and whoever stands out really does stand out. Like Hanji is amazing. Erwin towards his death. Erwin, I'm a bit conflicted on, but towards his death,
Like
amazing. What?
I mean, everyone now like a Chad. Like this motherfucker was like coming at a Titan full speed and basically
Yeah.
made this impressive speech. Like, oh my god, that was so raw.
Yeah, and that's why his death episode was very emotional, man. And the the,
Like he
the
kind of
line the
drove
line that
like
got me
basically
the
gave meaning to
yeah
the other scouts. It was just so bleak, but also hopeful.
yeah the line that got me was when Levi was like, now you rest to Erwin, or I want to make him rest, like
Yeah.
you can tell Erwin has actually surprisingly one of the least tragic backstories in the show, but when you put it all in
I
all
mean,
together, he went through like probably the most, right? Because of the pressure and everything on his shoulders, and he had to play a role he didn't even want to play, but he had to make things move forward. He had to be the bad guy per se, even though he didn't ever
I
want
wouldn't
to.
like to say everyone was the bad guy. He's kind of like the guy that's willing to do corrupt things
Yep,
for the greater good.
yep, yep. And actually, Erwin does not get enough praise, but he's very skilled with his sword too. I mean, yeah, I know he's big brain, but he did keep up with Levi pre corp days, so that's a pretty impressive feat as well. So he's no slouch in strength wise either. So yeah, he was a phenomenal like character towards his death, but before that, Erwin for me kind of was wish washy in a sense. I think he
Kind of like, I mean, Isiano was kind of like building him up slowly,
yeah
and
I
then
know
we got to
I
see
don't mind Erwin.
each
I mean
person's character development.
I mean but yeah I mean the main cast of Attack on Titan is not the best. I mean Eren is good up till the founding Titan thing was discovered for me. Mikasa is not interesting and Armin is not interesting. So
I like Mikasa.
uh
That's kind of hard. It was wild because many Mikasa fans will like attack anybody or just outright go after people.
I mean that's what I mean, right? I mean, like, it's like Armin, okay, but he didn't develop a lot, and he kind of goes backwards as a character, in my opinion. And
Yeah,
Mikasa,
because
Mikasa is
I was
like okay, but she doesn't develop much either. So, like you want to talk amazing characters, Historia. Honestly, the most underrated character in the show easily. Yimmer is she was okay. You know, Yimmer also was good.
Yeah,
Reiner. Oh God, Reiner's story is amazing. Um, Aaron's father, his story is amazing, absolutely amazing. Um, I'm trying to think here.
that's
Erwin. I mean, you can include Erwin. Erwin is a decent character too. Levi to an extent, even though, I'm a bit on the flip on that. Hanji is she develops too. She's a good character in a sense. Oh, how can I forget my boy? Wait, he was the friend of Marco. Marco's death affected him. Gene. Oh yeah,
Gene.
Gene is man. Gene developed a whole lot. That episode with Marco that made me cry too. Wow.
Yeah,
See,
because like
but see that's what I mean. Attack on Titan. If I'm talking about watchability, series like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z hit more for me, right? But
yeah,
Attack on
but
Titan has moments where it will last for you. Like the best of Attack on Titan is truly a sight to behold. Like it is truly a sight to behold. Like Attack on Titan, season season 3 is peak Attack on Titan, especially part 2. But yeah, I mean, there's some good, but like that's what I mean. You know, like considering how big Attack on Titan's characters are, like maybe 20-30% are interesting. The rest are like they either get killed or they're like, like Connor, whatever. Sasha's good.
yeah.
Sasha's fun, but
Oh
besides
my god,
Marco was a
gotta
plot
kill.
device. Annie was like okay. Annie was decent, I guess, but then she becomes a love interest, and it's like
Oh my
nobody
god, that
no,
was kind of like
nobody cares
oh,
about that, and
I feel
I
like
don't know.
and you
It's and
after
Bertoldo is not a character, so you know what I mean. It's like, like, but like
I mean,
again, there's so many good things about Attack on Titan. The world building, amazing. The themes, amazing. Although season 4 themes wise is
it's kind of like
not the
and
best, not the
it's
best.
to
Yeah.
the final season.
Okay, let's put it this way, right? So you're telling me this guy is fighting freedom, yet the freedom all along was in his hands. Doesn't make sense to me. The founding titan is where the show kind of went off the rails, to be honest.
Like it was already like AOT already had all this mysticism around, but my issue with like the
Yeah.
paps and the Valentine started to become less and less interesting.
Honestly, Attack on Titan was amazing when it was simple. Like you got those little twists, like Reiner and Bertoldo being like the enemies, like, and I was
Yeah,
like,
but the whole
wow,
and
like it was there all along. I'm so stupid, like yo, like wow, like it was amazing. And then you get Reiner's story, and it's even better and better. It's like wow, what a twist. Like
yeah,
but I will say, Attack on Titan is one of the few animes that gets a high rating on a list, and it's not overrated. So I'll give it that. You know,
yeah.
and people actually talk about season 4 being not good, which I agree with. So Attack on
I'm
Titan's fandom is actually they're woke, but in
I'm
a good way. Like they actually know the stands of a good story. So I'll give them that. Fair enough. That's I can praise them like that. Like Attack on Titan fans know when the story is going good and when it's not going good. So I'll give them that. And it's one of the few shows that actually has good standards of writing and it's not overrated. It's actually kind of fairly rated, I would say. It's not a
yeah.
masterpiece, but hey, it's very good. Very good in my opinion. Season 3 part 2 masterpiece. Season 3 and a whole masterpiece. Season 2 up there. Season 1 fantastic. Season 4 we're not going to talk about that.
I mean, it's kind of like mixed
Yeah.
until the rumbling.
Yeah, season 4 we don't talk about that.
Yeah,
Like I'm sorry, but Aaron having the founding titan, so you're telling me he was able to change his destiny all along. And then the final chapter in the manga, the reason why he did it, now since I actually watched the story and I know what happens, yeah, no,
The
yeah,
in chapter 139 is kind of like a bit of a mess because there was editorial problems and Isayama had to change some things because like my issues with 139 is kind of like the retcons and contradictions
yeah, and I don't know, man. It's like,
because I don't like the reveal of 139 like how Aaron was responsible for his mother's death. I felt like that was like wasn't needed.
yeah, and the way he goes against his father, and I don't know, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It really doesn't, man. I mean, I'm sorry, but the Jaegerist also waste of time, waste of air, waste of everything.
I mean, the
Why were
Jaegers
they even
and
there? I'm sorry, but when I say people say Philok is one of the best characters in Attack on Titan, I look there and I want to smash my head to a wall.
I mean, Flock is like the best characters. Like, even though he's kind of like crazy, and I don't technically agree with his entire philosophy, I think he's kind of like right about everything except for his plans.
Not really. I mean, I kind of disagree there with you. But see,
Bro, it's about him.
I will appreciate an attempt, right?
Yeah,
It's good that there's internal conflict, right? That's good. I will give him that, but when something goes on for too long and that gets ridiculous, it gets ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, but also power scaling wise, like Reiner struggling against Jaegerist. I mean, yeah, no, I'm sorry, but that doesn't make any sense. But
and
anyways, I mean, it is what it is, and the show generally speaking is very well done, despite its ending, and it's better than most series out there. But
yeah,
season 4 is like where Isayama should have been like, yeah, this is the enemy should have ended there, and just been like, you know what, no
is
founding
that
titan, no nothing. Let's just fight the enemy. Let's resolve this, and let's put it at that. That's all. Like that's what he should have
yeah,
done.
I mean, you see, I don't have it planned out. The problem is that some concepts from season 4 weren't like fully utilized. Like you saw plot line, Historia's pregnancy, and the Jaegerists. Like even Flock and Armin's character development, despite it being good, could have been. I mean, they could have more conflict
I mean, I don't know, man. I
injected.
think I think Armin regressed as a character. To be honest, I truly do.
Armin, issue with Armin is that I mean, I can understand that he's traumatized, but he doesn't act like practical or at least intelligent because he
Yeah,
kind of like makes a lot of these fatal errors. I wouldn't mind if this regression was used to build him up into a leader, but it doesn't go nowhere. And I kind of like, and many fans, like some Armin fans, didn't like how he was kind of like treated.
yeah, no, I completely agree. And I mean, it's like season 4 Armin is the worst Armin, and I mean he only gets worse from there really because the story gets worse. So yeah, I mean he did not live up to Erwin's legacy of as a character, as a leader. So he regressed, for in my opinion. But
Yeah,
and
I'm
Philok
just
and all these characters, I still don't. I respect your opinion, but I still don't get their point, and it was just a waste of time. And that's where like the show just like it was obvious. Luciano's kind of running out of gas, and he just wants to end the show. He's not sure how to exactly, but and there's something called knowing your capability as a writer, and I'm not saying Isayama is not a brilliant writer. He's brilliant and he's capable of more, I'm sure, but like
but
there's something called going out of your comfort zone. He clearly went out of his comfort zone when he went with the founding time. Like I don't know. I mean, it just wasn't planned for, and you could tell it was very confusing. Like he I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just my opinion, but
yeah,
he just didn't come up with something that is convenient for the story, in my opinion. And it kind of goes against his themes, so from the previous season. So, yep. And Aaron just started acting out of character for me. So
He was kind of like corrupt from the beginning of the series, but gradually got there. Just that 139 kind of like doesn't make any sense.
but I mean, to be honest, most of the shows we agreed on, but I mean, you have to disagree at some point. So we kind of probably disagree there, So so which is fair. I mean, I'm giving my reasonings. I'm not being a dick about it, and you're giving your reasonings. So it's a very friendly discussion. It's like,
Pretty much.
yeah, it's like you think Aaron has been like that from the beginning, and I think okay, Aaron did represent that, but the founding time does kind of go against that because he was able to control his destiny from the beginning, yet he chose not to, and the reason why he did it towards the end was kind of like meh for me, especially when chapter 139, when you know what happens in season 4.
Yeah, I mean, once 139 kind of gets adapted, I think it's going to like throw like create a bunch of discourse and then many people are. It's going to like be like a political shit show on Twitter.
Yep. Have you watched Black Lagoon?
I haven't even watched it yet.
Okay, have you watched Bocce the Rock?
Bocce the Rock.
Yeah.
Bo-
Bocce
Bok-
the Bocce the Rock. You know
I never heard.
the okay, here. Have you watched Bunny Drop?
Yeah,
Okay, the babysitting anime. You watched that?
yeah, drop.
I mean, I don't think there's much to discuss about the show. I think it was okay. What would you say?
I mean, it's good. Like the movie was better than the manga because the manga was just one full Alabama.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. We leave people alone. We don't want to talk about that. We all have our mistakes. We stay away from that. We don't want to talk about it. Okay, let's talk about Boruto for a second, please, man. Because what is this manga doing, dude? I don't know. So,
Sorry about board. Absolute garbage.
bro, what? I'm sorry. Boruto keeps getting worse and worse every chapter. Like, no offense, but how?
Hard to borrow fan, but the manga is like complete garbage. Like it doesn't have a single idea or direction. It just like skips over development and then jumps forward to this new bad guy, and then the next thing, this character gets a power up, and now characters kind of like exposition dump every single shit from every chapter just to pick up the reader when the reader could have easily picked.
Are you good?
Yeah.
I thought you were sneezing. I was like, what kind of sneezing is that? No disrespect, Boruto fans. If you enjoy your series, you do you. We had fights in the past, but we're all grown ups now. Come on, like we're not gonna fight over manga. But I'm sorry, but like it's too laughable to even hate on anymore. It's just like I'm confused. I am so sorry for the people who invest weekly in this, and sorry, like you can enjoy. I do think Boruto. Okay, see, Boruto as a main character. To be fair, he has developed. Even though he isn't consistent.
Sucks.
I mean, Boruto as a character, I do think he has developed a little, but again, he keeps going backwards. And Kawaki, while being the best character in the show, doesn't say much because, it's like
Drops Naruto and Hinai to another dimension. I said, oh no, why? Why the fuck? No.
I mean,
No, why? Who wrote?
Kawaki for Boruto is its best character, but honestly, Kawaki as a character is worse than Sakura Part 1. So that should tell you everything. You may disagree with me there. Do you disagree with me there, Panda?
I mean, he's kind of like worse than Sakura Part 1.
But I still do think Sakura Part 1 actually does develop. She's not a bad character, I think, Sakura Part 1. Because she has a lot of development moments and she stays consistent, till Shippuden. You know? But But I actually think Sakura Part One again. I will shock people. I think she's a decent character. I will shock people here, but and I'll say why. Let me explain. Let me before you shoot me. Let me explain. She goes from
All right.
a she goes from a bratty girl who doesn't know about the world, someone who is without a goal, to someone who, she has her cutting hair moment. She starts accepting people for who they are, aka the Rock Lee scene, aka the Naruto scene with Kiba fight. Um, then she discovers how useless and how much time she wasted as a ninja, and then trains with Tsunade, and then it all comes first full circle in the beginning of Shippuden. It's not much, it's not crazy development, but it's there, you know.
I mean, like after the Sasori fight, she starts to regress back to her part one self,
Yeah, okay,
and
yeah,
then
yeah, I agree, but overall, I think Sakura's a good character, but I do acknowledge she's not great. I do acknowledge there's a lot of regressment for her, but I do still think for
like that.
Boruto,
It,
she would be the best character.
oh, the best character.
In Boruto, I'm sorry, but no disrespect, but man, I'm just thinking like I don't know. I don't know. Let's move on. We're not gonna talk about this. Let's move on. We don't want flack. Have you watched?
What?
Have you?
Like, what's the most overrated anime?
What's the most what?
Overrated anime.
Oh man, overrated anime.
Yeah.
From the ones I watched or overall, like what like overall. Oh man, that's a tough one. There's so many. Maybe Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Uh, Maybe Jujutsu Kaisen. Like all of the new shonen, pretty much. Maybe besides Black Clover. I've not seen enough of Black Clover to judge, but Jujutsu
I
Kaisen.
mean, DDK is overrated, but it's decent. It's kind of like decent rated, but Demon Slayer is kind of like fucking overrated.
Demon Slayer. I think. Clanad. Clanad is very overrated.
Yeah.
Clanad is overrated in my opinion. I mean, there's so many. Oh man, you asked a tough question. Gee, I'm trying to think here, man. Uh, but it's so tough. Oh, um, maybe Land of the Lustrous.
Uh,
Maybe also. I mean, it was a good show, but I a lot of people said it's a masterpiece, and I do think it's like 7 to 8 out of 10 show. Violet Evergarden, a bit overrated, not too much though. Okay. I know my pick. Your Lie in April. I would say Your Lie in April is the most overrated show I watched.
uh,
Yeah, but it's not too bad though. But it's just my
yeah.
opinion. I think Your Lie in April is kind of like yikes.
All right. I'm about to kind of like end this.
Okay. Do you want to talk about any other shows? You got any other shows in mind you want to talk about?
Uh, for the next podcast.
Okay, sure. Oh, you want to make this a thing? Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm all for it, man. Hey, there's a lot of things we could talk about, baby.
Yeah.
So many things. All right. Well,
All right.
it was my pleasure, man. Thank you for hosting me. Thank you for getting me
You're
on.
welcome. I appreciate everyone's watching. I recommend you subscribe to each channel.
Hey, hey. By the way, I just want to say most of the things I said here were on the fly. I did not script this. This is just off of like the top of my head. So, I mean, Panda knows this, but I don't really script things. I just say off the fly, and yeah, I got more content on coming. I did a Trigun review. I don't know if you've seen it. I did a Trigun review a few days back. Yeah, and I got more coming. I'm gonna do Fruits Basket. I'm gonna do all sorts of shows. So I just wanted to say that. and you know, me and Panda, we always go back and forth on text. We write essays, you know, and everyone used to get annoyed. Remember that?
Yeah.
We used to write like 30-minute essays about each character. And Dilix is like, I'm not Kohyuga. I'm not reading all of that. Oh man, good memories. Yeah, they're like, I'm not gonna read all of that. Fuck that. Yeah. Yeah, it's been my pleasure, man. Wait, what time is it for you right now? I think it's 2 in the morning, right?
It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah. Okay, same here. Yeah, in Kentucky it's also 3 in the morning. Yeah.
All right.
Hey man, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me, man.
You're welcome.
Okay. Do you wanna say an outro before I end the stream or the recording?
You gotta like just DM it to me.
Okay. Well, peace out. Should we sell peace out, guys?
Peace out.
Peace, love, and unity.
You too.